It's the no
Hey.
lifer chat. No life beekeeping at its finest. So the Saturday. What you been doing good today, Charlie?
It's been raining here pretty much all day. So we didn't have to go to that festival fair for the bee club today. And I found out this evening that they canceled it for tomorrow, which was just fine with me. And
So
it's
it's
been
done then.
cold. Huh?
It's done then.
Yeah, we're done for this weekend. So it's like 59 degrees and windy and rainy and all that stuff.
Did you watch Jason's video this morning on Bohemia Bees?
Yeah.
I did like. Well, that's like near you, right? That Meadworks.
Yeah, it's down in the city. I wouldn't go there, but that's down in the city.
I liked that hive though. I did like it, and I was sitting here thinking, I was like, my honey house has studs open all the way around. It'd be neat to have just like a wall of bees all the way around the whole thing. That this just hives in each stud, right? But then it would be, hey, Brad.
This Mr. Brad.
Evening.
Then it would be a whole
Hey.
different whole set of things, right? So first concerns, just watching it. I mean, I thought it was a cool colony, but then I'm thinking there's going to be people outside on the picnic benches and stuff. They're going to have food. They're going to have drinks. They're going to have soda, trash cans. How does that, first of all, affect your business? Then secondly, you have kind of a liability if one of your customers gets stung that happens to be allergic and maybe don't even know it when they go, right? So that would be my only things, because I couldn't really tell how the bees were going in and out. I mean, I saw the tube.
They didn't. I think if you looked at the pipe that for the exit pipe, hadn't been connected, and you don't know whether
it's got to be. It's got to be eventually, right?
Eventually it'll be out the wall someplace, and
turn that into a business opportunity. Just offer a EpiPen with every purchase.
Yeah, $200 extra sale right there every time.
There you go.
Talk about, would you like a fresh hot apple pie with that?
That's just kind of like the extended warranty, right?
Right. That's so I got some things today. I like my gadgets, right? So we're talking. I've got that piece coming for the tote. Ugh. So hold on.
Obviously. Yeah, I didn't even see what kind of fitting you had there.
So what I've got coming, it's kind of weird. It's like it's got a red plug in the middle, right? And then there's a screw-on cap that goes on it to hold that cap on the valve, right? The gate valve. So I bought a piece that's supposed to be coming that you unscrew, and it's got a hose adapter coming out of it. But my thought was, I'm going to screw that piece in, screw the hose barb out, right?
It's like a gas can, Brad. Where the spouts down inside, and you turn it around and put it through the hole.
A picture of it, a picture of that fitting?
I sent them all on the phone, didn't I? Or did I send Todd one? Hold on.
Probably one. For thicker syrup, that garden hose is not going to come out of there very well.
Shh, don't piss on my parade just yet, sir.
Well, I'm trying to advise you by my experience, because I've gone through it. I had a 1.25 inch, I think, serving hose. I could not get that thing to gravity feed very well at all. It almost not come out at all. And I went to was it 1.25 inch I started with?
Well,
maybe it was 1.25 inch I ended up with.
Okay, so for my first attempt at my tote, so I'm gonna unscrew the hose bib off of there, right? And then I was gonna screw in this male adapter with the quick connector here. I push the buttons correctly. The gator lock, if you will. And then I've got the quick connector coming out. But it's small, right? So maybe I have to get a bigger one. I don't know. But then
or so.
Then I can just screw in another adapter here, run a piece of pipe to the end of my bed, put the ball valve, little 90, and then I got my spout, right? I can open it up and then I can control the flow with this one. Hopefully, well, it's pretty, you control the flow with this one and out into my container. Hopefully, we'll see. Well, if you
won't have to control it very much, you'll be kind of
like a champ, probably.
Encouraging it along. It won't take much to stop it.
Well, luckily it's not real cold here, so it does kind of flow.
Well, that'll help.
And maybe if I vent the top and let air,
take that lid.
Well, certainly you have to do that for sure.
So that'll be the thing. But yeah, so that was the first. This is the first iteration of no pump drainage there, and so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
But it's like everything else in beekeeping. By the time you figure it out, you have $4,000 invested in your mechanism. Oh, I can do that a little bit better. That's $57 for that piece, or
And that's my motivation for trying to, say, go with this size or whatever, because I think it was inch that I started with, and it didn't hardly come out at all. And I went to inch and a half or inch and a quarter or something, inch and a half maybe, and that came out okay to fill pails, but I still wasn't super happy with it. But I used it like that for a couple of years. Now I've got the pump on it, so I can make it squirt out of there as quick as I care to.
I got out there pretty obviously I had some stuff to do. You saw the packages that went out. So if you pre-ordered, other than today, they went to UPS. They're out of here. So there was 19 pre-orders. I got 2 more over here. I think I used 1 sleeve, right? So that leaves me about 9 or something like that, 9 or 8 of them. So we're going to see what happens. Now, one thing, and I've had this discussion with the guy, but those sleeves, and I don't know if it's from where, I don't know, the little plastic piece on the top is not very good. Doesn't affect the discs, but if it's open, just know that's how it came to me. And probably just throw it in a Ziploc bag or some gallon Ziploc bag when you get home. And, I'm missing some chat over here.
Is the sleeves green?
So I had 2 people call me today, and I thought it was cool. Or actually, not call me, text me. Todd's cooking. He said he'll be here soon.
What'd they call you?
Well, I can't tell you that. I get demonetized. Let me see. Where is it? So it's kind of interesting. At least I find it's interesting, right? So when someone in a different state goes to a bee supply or to a conference and your product sitting on the shelf in Louisiana, so Paul Hale sent me this, and then I guess Lee had to work a little bit and went there later, and he sent me a picture as well. So yeah, I just thought that was it's cool when you see something and you make it and it starts growing, right? And now people in other states are sending you photos. Look, I was at a bee conference in your product, so all the way out here in Louisiana. So
that is cool. Way to go.
It's a neat thing. But so what'd you do today, Bradley? Honey?
I fed my bees and I jammed out. Just still really tired, and we got a little rest this morning, had a nice breakfast, went out, fed the bees, and I thought feed the bees and then extract, and then I fed the bees and thought that's enough and jammed out.
So it was fed the bees and extract, and then it became fed the bees and nap.
It wasn't exactly that, but it was more like feed the bees and then feed me and then sit around and do nothing. And
That's
then,
how
oh, look, Bob's on live.
yeah, mine was feed the bees and do some, I've got a colony. I don't know. You go in there, you don't.
Took us a couple hours. Feed the bees.
So I may have done something bad, right? So I don't know. I don't know that it was terrible. It'll set them back a little bit, probably. Not that they were very far along to begin with, right? So let's put that into perspective. They were sucking to begin with, and I tried to help them not suck as bad. So you remember? Maybe you don't. So this colony, it has a queen in there walking around. She's good. It's got some bees. It had a deep and a medium. Very little stores. Now, I didn't have a feeder on this one, so that's a caveat, right? So, so it was a deep and a medium. They were pretty much in the medium, just a very little bit of cap brood left. I took that top off, shook them down. I didn't care if there was any eggs or anything in the top. All the bees got to the bottom. I took out a frame, made it 9 frames, put a frame feeder in there and pumped the 1-to-1 to them. And, here you go, chicks. It's on you now, right? And so we'll see if they rebound. So I don't know. It's starting to get late, starting to get a little bit cooler at night, like 59 tonight. So, but at this point, it's like.
So it was a deep and a medium, and now they're deep?
It's a single deep 9 frame and frame feeder.
Yeah.
And everybody, all the girls are in the bottom.
How does the population look in that space? It look a good space for them?
Actually, it's probably
like, are they crowded large. Or
yeah, no. It's probably a little bit large for them there as well, right? But that's one of the colonies. Okay. I need tomorrow, if the weather plays right. I'm gonna move a couple of the stands that I've got the 2 framers on in the back, because I don't need those right now. I'm not making queens, right? It's just resource vector. I'm gonna take 2 of them down, move them to the front on the side so I can start setting those up and putting the oil bottom boards on them and get them off the ground. Try to, make sure there's no pests, because I banged out a bunch of beetles and hammer tested them.
So you're just going to move them a short distance, or
basically lift them up, or at this point, I don't think they'll make it. The feed on there is kind of, well, you either protect it and drink it, or it's going to get robbed out. Somebody's going to get it, right? So.
But you say you're going to move this colony from here to there. How are you going to manage the drift and the loss of the flying bees?
Well, ideally, what's going to happen is one of those the stronger double deeps that I've got to move as well. I'll move those, like I'll put the stand where that is, and then I'll move the big one over and put the weaker one there. So any bees coming back may come back in. Okay. Of course, they'll be older.
So the big one's going to be the one to lose the bees. You can put a collection hive over there, like put a hive with just some comb, put a pro nuke or something with some comb in the old spot, and take you a couple days. You keep ferrying the bees up; they'll catch on. A couple days, they'll catch on. You can do that. So back to the original one. So you said that space might be a bit big for them. I was going to ask you how are your bees brooding these days? Are they doing much brood, or
the ones that are pest ridden? The ones that are pest ridden they're basically shutting down. I mean, when I say there was a little bit of brood up top, I'm talking about like 5-6 cells that are capped on the top, right? So it's like they're either going to get ready to leave or they're getting ready to die either way. So I threw a little bit of sugar water in there and minimized the space. But I mean, there's a cluster of bees in there. Don't get me wrong. There's a cluster of bees. But now she's got all nice drawn comb in there in the bottom. She's got one area to protect and some feed in there. And it's a little bit more compact. So I don't know. if she does it good. If not, she's going to get the shake and bake and let it roll, and and we're just going to work it that way,
You're going to have to do some shakeout convines, eh?
Yep. Just I mean, are you dispatching the queen, or are you just shaking her out too? Everybody just gone.
Well, usually when I do it, there is no queen, and that's why I'm doing it. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, if there's a queen, then you got to get rid of the queen. You can't shake the queen on the ground in front because they're just going to sit in a ball on top of the queen.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I did make a mistake. Another one. I make several, guys, if you haven't figured this out yet. So,
yeah, I do too. That's okay.
So I'm working this colony, right, and reducing it, and I take the second deep off. It's one of the deeps that was on my battery. I broke the battery down because one side was dead, right? I took that box that it wasn't dead out, but the bees were going up and over and back down through the excluder. So they were storing over there a little bit. And there were some bees on a frame, no queen, but they were using that space. They were just having to do some crazy mechanism, right? So I took those deeps off, and I took it and set it down on the ground next to another colony. Well, the bees that were in that deep that on that side, they were just walking out and walking into another colony, like you were talking about with the shakeout. So it was kind of, I was like, oh, why? Don't go there. I don't want you there. Right now I'm moving the box. And then they're just steady marching off of the honey frame down and into another colony. I'm like, well, I guess if they'll take you, they can have you, But it's weird.
The young bees, doesn't seem to matter with the young bees. You can go just about anywhere.
A new place opened up right here. Let's go. And flying in. So it was.
Hey, look what I found.
But it was pretty chaotic when I took the battery, the two off the top, and moved the one. All of a sudden, that colony, those bees were just like, all over the front of it. So they're packed in there now. One of them is actually a double 6. So I imagine she's going to, without an excluder, she's going to work that really quick. But after pulling off the boxes of the battery, the comb that was in there, they either had it was either comb that I had pulled up, but very little of that was drawn. They started to, but it was just like white, just real short white comb on there. So I just pulled that whole, all those frames out because they're not going to fill them. And now she's got 12 frames of drawn comb, feeder on top, a little bit of feed. So I imagine that one will start doing pretty good. And she had some slabs of brood in there too.
See, this stuff intrigues me because, there's no room for experimentation right now in my world. It's like you do this and you do this, and if you don't get this done, all your bees are going to be dead in 6 months.
Well, but here's the thing: why am I experimenting?
There's no room for variety at all.
If those colonies were kicking ass, I wouldn't have to make any decisions, right? It would just be, "Oh, you're doing great. See you later." And because they're not, now I have to come up with creative ways to see what's holding them back, right?
And I don't ask this question in a accusatory fashion at all, just for my edification.
Well, I'm the common denominator.
Learning. Okay, so why are they not kicking ass? Like, why are they not really fantastic colonies going into the next season?
All right, so
what could you have done something different? Or
absolutely. And I'm big broad shoulders. I'll take all the responsibility. Bees can only do
what good, because then you can change that stuff.
Right. Yeah. So bees can only do what bees can do, right? They can only fly and go forage and come back and make babies. And you got to have the whole ecosystem, right? You can't have old bees and no baby bees, and you got to have all stages for it to start rolling, right? So if we break that cycle with a dearth and I'm not putting feed to them, or they don't have a strong enough foraging population to bring back enough syrup for everybody involved, right? Then there's an issue. And so part of the issue is I'm like a lot of you guys. I work all day long, and you get home, you're like, oh, I just don't feel like doing it today, or I'll do that tomorrow. Then tomorrow it rains, and
yeah, I totally get it. I completely get that. There's so many days I just don't feel like that. I should have been feeding my bees yesterday, but
but sometimes you gotta say,
I just don't feel like it.
You just got to take that time. If they're not going to make it, lose them now, split back in the spring, and and maintain your apiary. But yeah, so I'm learning a lot of new stuff this year, as far as oil bottom boards. Who knew? Chris knew, right?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Yeah, because that's one of your big threats later in the season is those beetles.
I was adamant against those bottom boards. I could have had screen bottom boards for years. If the beetles would have just fell through them, then that would have been great. Yeah, Amir, I'm already on it, buddy. I'm already on it. I even thought about putting it. Hey, don't think I wasn't trying to figure a way to get that honey or that syrup out of there today. I thought, you know what? I got this piece of gutter. I could rig up the gutter on a block, open the gate, let it run down into a 5-gallon pail, shut it off, and now it just felt like I would fill straight away, right? But
sure,
until it works, until it doesn't work.
That would work. Wow.
It
worked a little bit of robbing
out the back of your pickup truck.
Yeah.
But it's the thing is, there's a lot of things I could have done different. I did a lot of things good this year. I mean, learned a lot of new stuff, but there's a lot of stuff that I did terrible, right? I mean,
so you weren't feeding them throughout that dearth is the essence of what you're saying.
Well, I was putting out feed. So, all right. So some of these colonies, I had top hive feeders that would fit on them, right? I have tons of frame feeders, but I was trying to get away from frame feeders. So I was drilling holes and putting jars on it. That was one of the colonies that I just never got around to drilling that hole out, right? 5 minutes it had been done, and they would have had feed, and it might have been better for them. So now they got some feed on them.
They just didn't get any feed, and that was okay.
Unless they went and got it out of the open feeder, right, or scrounge. So there's
another thing that I have to try and keep up with is, this kind of goes back to, I remember Charlie has said this to you a long time ago, is out here you look at these hives and
a couple times.
No, not that. That was a different time. But
which time was that?
that these hives, like, I can't say that there is no variety, but the management is kind of like do one thing 100 times kind of thing.
Right.
It's the more variety I have, it just kills my ability to work my apiary, and it kills my ability to keep up, and it drives me nuts too. Because every hive I look at, it's like, okay, what do you need? You're all special. It's like, man, just keep them all the same kind of thing. Any variety just kills me.
And then they need pollen, right? But I can't put pollen patty on because it'll get hive beetled. So it's like,
yeah.
I might have one in the freezer I can go grab for them, right? So it's one of those situations. It's just like, Brad, you'd probably quit beekeeping if you was down here. I mean, you would come down here.
I probably would.
What are you talking about? You've been putting out feed for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you still got nothing in the colony, right? It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Put the jar on top. They're taking the jar down. You think they're doing good. You go in the colony, nothing in the frames. And it's like,
yeah, but you're feeding thin.
Oh, that's fitting to change, as they say in the South. They're going to get, I'm not cutting it. I'm just
I mean, I seen that in my own. I was doing 1-to-1 with some jars to feed those special queens that I was building up for the winter, and they were consuming.
I got special queens too.
They
They all
weren't.
ride the
They
short
weren't
bus to the hive
storing.
every day.
They weren't storing. So then I went with the straight Pro Suite at the time, which is like a 3-to-1 almost. And then I started seeing them storing, or at least put wet fluid in the frames. They weren't capping, but they were, at least they had a band of honey in there that they could eat.
Your
And,
rainbow, the rainbow of goodness there.
right. So, that's why I say about, I know you're open feeding, but I'm not sure whether that.
Well, what it
That's
does is cut down the robbing in the yard.
Yeah.
Like you saw all the bees going everywhere when I was putting feed on today, and it was like, but they still had it out there, so they were started it calmed down in the yard, and then they just drank the feed. So ideally, if I put the feed out first thing in the morning or enough where it'll last for a little while, that they'll get on that first, and then once they've got that location, they're good. They're just going to keep flying, and I can do what I need to do. I think I got 2 stings today, but in a t-shirt, right? I had a t-shirt, long sleeve t-shirt on, and gloves, and a veil, and got me once in my arm. And I think, what I did is I took the frame and I was scraping propolis so I could put the feeder in there, the frame feeder, and I pinched one on my shirt against my t-shirt, so it stung me. So really 2 stings in my yard, that's a win all day, every day. The way mine is.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks, girls.
Well, that's good. That's good in my yard too.
So it was
I wore my jacket while we fed the other day. When I was feeding the bees, I got about halfway through. I had to put my jacket on, and they just were getting a little stingy, and so I wore long pants today, and I had my jacket, but I didn't even put the veil up because it ended up that they really weren't bad. I used a bit of smoke when I lifted the jars off, but it was kind of weird. I usually wear a veil and no jacket, and today I wore a jacket with no veil. So I'm catching on slowly.
I wear the veil mainly because they have a habit. If I'm looking down, they will fly straight in, like underneath my glass right here. And I don't know if they're once they're there, it's like you're gonna get my eyeball, or something. So I agree with that, Matt. However, I need to stimulate my bees because I need to get these queens back laying that have shut themselves down, or because they need some brood. Now I got some that I could take, but if, like I said, if they're failing now, do I want to try to take something out of a bigger hive and give it to them? One that's doing good? No, I don't. And that's the thing. So now that I got this, maybe I buy a couple bags of sugar for my open feeder and just give. Well, I don't need to buy any sugar anymore right now, but at least thin syrup in the feeder, thick syrup on the hive. And
so again, I'm just trying to get a handle on your season and what your bees do. So is it normal that your bees are not wanting to brood this time of year?
no,
Because it's normal for me.
well,
It's
for me,
not,
it's generally not. Until the pests, they get so overwhelmed by mites and
I guess so.
And by
So you have some colonies that are, normal. They're looking good, and they're
ones that I put
and
those bottoms on all seem to be doing really well. The ones that don't, the license hives, they seem to be doing pretty well. The rest of them are kind of,
So they're brooding. So how many frames of brood would you be looking at these days in a kind of what you'd think was a normal colony?
Well, generally in a single deep, I'm finding 2 slabs, right? I mean, laid up, capped.
Yeah.
1 to 2 eggs and larvae.
Okay.
So,
so so you could say maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, 3 to 4.
good. Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Brian said, so many moderators tonight. Somebody needs to let Brad know how to let people moderate the chats from the shenanigans.
Yeah, nobody told me.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I didn't even see all that. Sorry about that, everybody.
Brad's a work in progress.
I didn't know anything about that.
Oh, you know what I did? Here's what I did, though.
Naive.
You know that the medium frames that I said I took off of the one colony that had a little bit of brood and possibly some eggs. It was dark comb, so I couldn't really see it. It was overcast. They wanted to stay up there, so I assumed they were trying to protect something. So after I shook those bees down, I moved that whole empty box of frames on top of that New York hive. So it's single 10 and a double medium, 2 mediums. So just to let them hatch out and have some room. But that's another one I need to move as well.
So we kind of talked about this the other night too. And I remember Ian was dealing with this recently on a chat about changing things, about getting in there and kind of messing up the brood chamber and changing. Oh, that's what we were doing. We were talking about this on our novice session early in September, and somebody was asking about that, and kind of the wisdom that came down the pipe was
don't
sort of leave that brood nest alone.
Well, luckily they didn't really have one.
Yeah,
it's just empty comb. You could be on that empty comb down there, not that empty comb up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's what I try to do. I really try to leave it the way they have it set up, but at this point, those colonies are either going to make it or they're not, right? I'm not really I'll throw some sugar at them. I'm not too concerned about that since I have a plethora of that right now.
I think the biggest thing is that your pest is really been your major problem. You're finally getting to control the hive beetles, or at least trying to get a handle on them. And then with these new discs and the amount of mite drops, I'm looking at, how is it, see how your mite load is. And you got those two factors going against you. And I think that's, I'll say, a major issue as far as your bees wanting to lay and brood up and
abscond
and population. And you've been you had all these swarms or absconds, and I think that was definitely due to the beetles.
Well, even the one the other day that did the little practice swarm or whatever craziness they were doing the other day, that doesn't have a beetle trap on it. It doesn't have the bottom board on it. So I've got the bottom boards. They're sitting in my shed. I just haven't got this guy out there to put them on there, So again, a lot of my problems are self-inflicted, right? But I think part of being a good and responsible beekeeper is noticing
this
that,
thing
right?
Kind of gets ahead of the rest of your body sometimes, right?
Oh yeah.
Your left click button. That's kind of like when you got your credit card number memorized, and it's sort of this little finger gets ahead of the.
I'll put them on in 5 minutes. No, you won't either.
It makes a lot of plans that the rest of your body can't. Hey, I speak from experience, buddy.
Hey,
I'll order this.
Let's pick up a new package. Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad this morning. And I told everybody last night, there's no way I'm going to be up to catch Bohemia Bees premiere at 9:30 in the morning. Not on a Saturday. I'll be asleep. Because I'm late for work religiously. It's like I can't get to work on time, right? And at 7:00 this morning, my eyes popped wide open. I said, of course, it's Saturday. I'm going to wake up on time to go to work, So I did get up, but then I'm like sitting here watching this. I'm like, well, I got all these packages to ship. So I boxed up all those packages, and thank you in the chat, by the way. I sent you that picture, didn't I, Brad, of the back of the car?
Yeah.
Today. And where's Where's Bradley? There you are. And so this is what the back of my cart. It all went out UPS. Why? Because UPS store was open today, and I didn't have to try to do it during the work day. That's double. That's too deep, right? So that's 16 boxes here, 17, 18, 19. And then I've got 2 more that came in later in the day to go out. But that was in the Bronco in the back. So it was jam packed. Oh, nope. Don't want to do that. It was about to make me leave studio. I hit the wrong button.
Ooh.
But, hey, thank you, Honeystone
That'd be
Farm.
something I would do. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's more work, you know. Even the store part of it's more work than you sometimes plan on, right? Hey, let's pick up a new product. It's great. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, now I got to ship all these. And now I got to order more.
And that's to somebody who's never done it. I've done that kind of thing. If somebody's never done it, that's a considerable effort to get things together and ship stuff out to different places. It's a considerable effort. It's time consuming.
Well, then, like, I sent out some stuff to Mark Andrews earlier in the week, and he's in Virginia. I'm in South Carolina, right here. He's in Virginia, right there. They sent that the U.S. Postal Service sent that package to Houston, Texas, and then to Maryland, and then now it's going down to Virginia. And it's like, why? Why? I mean, why is it so high? Why does it cost so much to ship? Well, we're going to ship it, 900 miles in the
long way. That's right.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Charleston. Stuffy's going to Charleston. But that's a and then you get the message, hey, where's my package? Well, it's over there, right? I mean, it's still saying it's coming. It's just taking a long time to get there. Yeah, and they wonder why it costs so much. So, you know what? You guys feel like opening it up? I know Todd's coming, but he looks like he's making salsa. So I'm chopping tomatoes and onions. He's like a legit. He's a catch for you ladies. He's out in California, palm trees and sun, single, successful guy that likes to cook. I mean, what can you?
It's a cancer-free state too.
It's a cancer-free state. So,
well, everything causes cancer there, though.
You can't buy tomatoes; those cause cancer.
Right.
So let's. I'm gonna throw up the thing here. You know what? I don't even have it pulled up. My channel pulled up on here. I lost a viewer by not watching my own stream over here. Oh, now I got to watch my own commercial. Terrible.
Oh, nice.
I'm almost done. There we go. Pays, StreamYard, and he sent a package to Georgia. They sent it to California. It took 2 weeks. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on with this thing. I mean, they sent it the wrong direction first. The package you sent me went to Indiana, then back to North Carolina. So I don't know what they're doing. So, they usually scan those things, right? The label. That's why it's got a barcode on it. So they scan it to know where it's supposed to go. But craziness. Charlie, you're quiet over there.
You're talking.
Well, that's what you do on a live stream. Oh, I would have made you proud today. And Phil, I supported the Boy Scouts. I bought some popcorn from them today. One of them big tins for like $1,000 or whatever it was. It was crazy. $40 for a tin of popcorn. But, I like in my mind, I'm like, that's a great cause. And I was trying to, what do you call it? What do they call it when you're trying to not program, but doggone it, groom. I was trying to groom my grandson, right? So I went to the pet supply to get some stuff for the cat. And then they're like, oh, you know, they checked my points because it's owned by Tractor Supply, this Pet Sense or whatever. And
Oh yeah.
they said, oh, you know, you got some coupons for like 30% off a Carhartt. And the first thing that popped in my head was, oh, my grandson needs a Carhartt overalls and a Carhartt shirt, right? So I'm like, he's like this big, right? So I'm wanting to go and buy this little Carhartt outfit with my discount, and I go to Tractor Supply. Then they don't have any small enough for them, and I end up buying $50 worth of fittings or whatever it is to make my tote thing, right? So they got me there. We got them. That's what
a funny list when the Carhartt is number one and syrup fittings are number two. That's kind of it's like,
you know, I didn't even go there for the syrup fittings because I was waiting for the other device to come in, because honestly I don't even know if I can spin the thing out of there. And they sent me a verification.
I wish I could see that fitting on that tank.
It is
just kind of interesting to me.
But it's in a text message. So let's see.
Or text message.
I sent that to you, Charlie, didn't I?
What's that?
I think I sent you that picture.
Send it to me a message or something.
It was funny though, because I know I was driving down the road and Charlie, he does the voice to text, and when it comes across my stereo, it has, it says Charlie, and I click the button to hear what he said. So then I hear what he's saying about strapping all four corners, or you're going to have that stuff all over the back of your, and I'm hearing Charlie's voice, but it's like a computerized voice.
Charlie's voice.
I'm hearing Charlie's voice.
You're going to have that stuff all over the highway if you don't.
You're going to have
to wash your truck. You have to wash that syrup off your truck. I'm sorry, Charlie. It shouldn't do that in front of somebody.
But yeah, that was the I know who got that. Oh crap. See, I send messages so many different ways. Like Todd, I usually send on and I've usually sent through Book of Faces. But
you gonna send me a picture?
I'm trying. Give me a second.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
I haven't gotten. I'm like here with Brad because we got Facebook information, but we're not like here. I'm not here with Brad because I don't have his like cell phone number, right? So he can just say, "Yeah, I saw it," and leave me alone. I can't bug him. Only real friends can bug you. What did I do with it? Todd. There, I know Todd got a picture of it. Download to my phone. Open up my other messenger since I don't have Brad's information. And but once I send it to you,
I get better notifications on Messenger than anything else.
There, but now that I've sent it to you, I can open it up on the screen, right? So,
okay, that's not exactly a close-up.
Well,
okay. You showed me that last night. What he's talking about, that spout, is that green ring right there with a red thing in the middle. You unscrew that, it's just a ring, and then out comes this spout, and then you flip the spout around and put the ring on there, and then screw it back on, and now you got a spout.
Almost. So this, you take this off. This red piece comes all the way out, right? So this,
it's a spout.
No, it's not a spout. this little white piece that's over here on this side.
I can't see that.
Hold on.
I see. Yeah.
How about this? I got this up here. Can you see that better?
Yeah.
So this ring comes off. This centerpiece comes out. And there is literally a plastic tub spout that you stick through here, and it looks just like the spout that's on your tub. And that slides through that ring and screws the ring back on. So I've got something that's coming that you unscrew this and screw it on, but it's got a hose bib that comes out of it. So I'm going to unscrew the hose bib out of that adapter, and that's why I bought all that other stuff for the quick connect.
Well, what's a hose bib?
It's the faucet that you have on the outside of your house, right, with the butterfly valve on it.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
A hider. Okay.
So anyway, this, you just turn this and it flows out.
Why can't you just buy would be
this is coarse
buy
thread.
a female adapter that screws onto that thread, and then on the other end
that's
just
what they
shove a
call
piece.
buttress thread.
Yeah, this is
Probably.
a coarse thread out here as compared to a pipe thread that your plumbing fittings are. So
Is it a coarse or is it a buttress?
well, I believe it's coarse. That's what the guy asked me on the thing. I sent him what tote it was and everything. So I don't know. That's what we got. That's what we got to work with. So by next spring, I should have syrup available for my bees.
Hopefully that syrup keeps all winter.
It should keep, but it's just crazy.
So you just got to feed these girls all winter. Is that what you got to do?
Typically, I try to get them up. If I can get enough feed in the colony, then I can just put out feed when it's nice out, and let them go get it. But at this point, it's looking pretty bad. I mean, we didn't have a great honey flow either.
So how much feed are these bees going to eat before they get a flow again?
Well, the funny thing is, our goldenrod is blooming now, like right up the street. There's tons of it. Right. And they're bringing in pollen, but they don't appear to be eating any nectar. So that's
fly nectar.
The thing.
Hey, Alex.
I
don't know. I mean, why don't you just feed them up and, of course, they don't actually go in hibernation for the winter, do they?
No, but the feed is so cheap that I could get 2 totes.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the workload.
Brad pays for 1 tote, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm looking at the workload.
Are they going to eat more than 5 gallons of syrup a piece? Do you think?
At this point, it's hard to say. I mean, I made the syrup I put on there today pretty thick. I mean, as much that would hold in the water, right? And then a little bit would at the bottom. So they're gonna have to put it away. I mean, and in their defense, I have only been feeding basically real thin syrup. So that's probably just enough to keep them alive, not enough to keep them growing. Right. Which, if they're not growing and I'm keeping them alive, they're just getting old. That's all that's happening. They're not generating youth. The 2 youths, Yana.
Well, that's the key. The 2 youths. What's a ute? And that's kind of the key. In October, usually, I don't know, early to mid-October, usually our bees kind of stop flying. So that's when the bees start to not age as quickly, and then they live for many, many months because they're not flying.
But I mean, like today, I mean, it is getting cooler at night, but it's still not. If it was that temperature at night during the day, my bees would still be flying, right? So it's not one of those situations. But
And see,
so,
that's
right.
kind of it. That's a real disadvantage of your bees are flying the whole time, because then they're aging.
They're
aging really
so you
fast.
have to keep their populations up, right? And if they have
You
no
have to keep
feed,
the attrition.
yeah.
You have to take care of the attrition. Yeah, you have to have brood. Hey, Alex. Hey, Todd.
Hey, Brad. Oh, sorry. Look
So
what
you
I
all
got.
fed up now? I was putting your Tinder profile up for everybody.
Yeah, I heard that. I was quickly writing it down so I could post it later.
Single male. He's a good catch.
Knows how to cook dinner.
Tonight was I just made something simple. Linguine with pork sausage chopped up in it, onions, tomatoes, garlic.
Yeah, sounds like a breeze.
The sauce had butter and sour cream and Parmesan.
This is my kind of food.
So yeah,
Onion, garlic, butter,
Maybe.
sour cream.
all the good stuff.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm full.
So what's going on there, Todd? What'd you do
I feel
today?
like a tick that just fell off a cow.
You feel like a tick that just fell off a cow.
Yeah, how full I am. Nothing, not much. It's weird today. I went out and did my last round of Apiguard. Then I came home and I don't know. I just felt sluggish, and I ate lunch, and then I sat down on the couch and relaxed for a little bit. I was going to do some things in the garage, and I turned the TV on and watched the football, and I fell asleep for an hour and a half. And then I couldn't do anything after that. I was just like Charlie
went to go take a nap right now. He just got up and went to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
I do that to people sometimes.
Old people don't sleep long.
Yeah,
Other than that,
I was talking to Todd this morning. He's like, "Yeah, I get up early every day." I said, "I get up early on Saturday on accident when I'm trying to sleep."
Yeah,
that's about it. And then someone messaged me, "Hey, we're gonna try to come by tomorrow. We're early risers." I said, "I am not." So about 10 o'clock is usually a good time if you want to buy honey, considering I was outside all day when you could have came by. Oh, we have plans. Well, I have plans too. So,
yeah, Darren is correct.
But needs a break.
Needed a break. So,
just come over tomorrow. We'll put bottom boards on 15 more colonies.
I'll jump in the truck right now.
And we'll put up these other hive stands and lift those colonies off the ground and give them some bottom boards.
Maybe I can intercept the UPS driver that's pushing my box to California on a hand truck.
Right.
Because it's not going to be here.
Via Rhode Island, right? They're going to send it to Rhode Island first and then to California or something.
Holy cow. I saw that. I go, October 3rd, that's 10 days away. It really takes that long?
Is that
I don't need it, but I'm like.
Is that what it said?
Yeah. But I think that's a guesstimate, in a couple of days.
Guessing, that's 10 days.
Yeah. That's why I said I think they were pushing it here with a hand truck.
I sent it UPS for two reasons. One, they're usually pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
Two, they were open today when I could just take them to the UPS store.
Yeah.
Right. So that surprises me.
It's like I said, they probably have to put something in that box. And so they guessed, or, they just put 10 days out and that's it. They'll adjust it. I'll bet you it'll be here before the end of the month. It'll be here next week sometime. Probably next Friday, maybe Saturday.
No, DC lives on the whole opposite end of the country for me. He's in Washington State and I'm in South Carolina. So he's here and I'm here. Something like that. Pretty far away. And I went and saw Mr. Sam the other day, and he was feeding his bees were all out of syrup too. So I mean, it's tough. It's tough down right now. Even with goldenrod blooming, I mean,
I am so fortunate right now. I can't tell you. Every single hive, and as a matter of fact, if Mark is on here, I've got to really give him a shout out, because I got those VSH virgins from him. They got here like the 3rd week of June. I had to put another box on them today. That's 3 boxes that they have. They're not treated. I didn't put Apigard on them for obvious reasons, but now I'm going to get to taste that blue curl honey that I always miss, because there's such an abundance of it. I open up every single lid I popped. I could smell that nectar. Everybody's got it. And
What kind of flower is it? I didn't get it.
it's called a blue curl. And
Blue pearl, blue pearl.
curl, like hair
Okay.
curl. Well,
Okay.
no offense, but you know what I mean. So yeah, they are just ravaging that plant, and it's everywhere this year again because of the rains. So I think I'm going to completely dodge feeding this year. Although I'll probably inject them with some Apis anyway. But yeah.
Well, for like you know, when I'm talking to people, and we always talk about how beekeeping's regional, right, or very local, however you want to call it. So like when Carl was on here a week or so ago, and I was asking, wait a minute, you haven't started feeding yet, and you're in Pennsylvania and you're pulling honey still? And that kind of perplexed me, because I'm used to looking at my boxes, right? And how my boxes look, and they're kind of empty, you know? So it's one of those things. It's like, man, I've been feeding and mine aren't putting nothing away, you know? And
I did see a couple. I have 2 queens that I know I'm going to have to deal with. But the rest, they're just chugging along great. It's just been one of those years. I can't explain it.
hey, Steve, at this point, you got 400 or 500 pounds of jarred honey you could feed back to them. He's trying to downsize too, is what he's been saying, but every year he can't. He keeps growing. Charlie, what you eating? Cheese.
Hey, Russell, I still have some left. I just put a hat on. I didn't comb my hair today. I woke up, put a hat on, and went to the farm.
I didn't comb my hair either. So
I've got the game on the other channel over here. So
I met a lady today. I went to buy some sugar.
Oh, wait a minute. You met a lady? Okay.
A lady that asked for help earlier this week. She called me. She was like freaking out because she knew she had to condense the bees, but they were boiling out. Like, am I doing like I? My answer was I can't tell you what to do. I can only tell you what I do, and it's basically the same thing. So, condense them down to one box and feed them. And I saw her today. She recognized me because I was hauling 15 bags of sugar.
Hey, Steve's got the answer to your creaming problems here. He's got 1,500 pounds in buckets too.
Holy cow.
So
nice.
If you need some honey to cream up, just cross down to New York, load up the Malibu, and let's go.
Fill her up.
Yeah, I'm not taking that old car that far.
Well, if you had the little black truck,
man, I could get 2 pails back from there.
Drive it back home, Alex, like you're driving moonshine.
That's right.
I don't drink, so that means I wouldn't drive at all.
Oh yeah, you don't have to drink. It's not for drinking.
Just pour it in your gas tank.
That's right.
It's the only alcohol.
Washer fluid.
Pour in your gas tank, and if you run out of gas, and keep it moving.
That's that's got to be rough on the engine if somebody actually did that.
Actually, it's just corn liquor.
Like ethanol.
Yep.
Well, not like it, but similar in theory.
Well, you guys are, especially Charlie's, mighty quiet tonight. Usually he's all about the single brood chamber management.
Charlie's eating his supper.
You're muted, Charlie. I saw Charlie unloading that pallet of sugar over there, too.
Yeah. Get out to the hives and start feeding next week. Get my formic off by that time.
So your benefit up there is you've got enough coming in to keep your hives like with some weight on them until you start to put feed on them. Mine is like if I don't feed them, we got problems. And right now I have problems even feeding them.
This year and last year, we had the spider lanternfly come rolling in. And because of their honeydew, the bees have been packing the honey away, which is great. Normally, prior to that is where, like Ian talks about, what is it? Flash? How do you say that, Brad? You splashing some sugar water on them or something? Huh?
Flash.
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's say you put a gallon or two of sugar water on them, and that's it, and that'll get you through the dearth, which is be July and August.
Well, I've put a few gallons in mine, all of them. Well, not all of them. The ones that have feeders, they all got a few gallons, and they're still like.
Yeah, yeah. The idea is, and usually I think it's more like half a gallon at a time, but you don't keep it full. Like you give them some, and then you let them sit because you want to promote brooding, but you don't want them to pack it out. Right. Because if you give them too much syrup, and then they're going to pack it out, she's not going to lay anyway.
And that's exactly what I did the one year. Is I fed them too much, and then I started having a swarm problem.
See, and I'm the other way around, right? I need them to pack it out. I need them to put some weight in that box. And
yeah, but you don't want to fill up the brood chamber. You know, you want them to have place.
Yeah, you don't want to plug them out because you need that brood. You plug them out, and then you got no brood problems.
Well, I mean, if I put let's say I put a gallon of 2-to-1 in there, they're not going to plug out the whole box with that. I mean, they shouldn't.
I think that's why 2-to-1 is what you want, because you want the nutritional value, but you don't want to use up a lot of space in the hive. So you don't want to store it. I wonder when they'll store and it'll use up a lot of space.
But somebody was telling me, was it you, Todd, that said you put some feed on and they totally drew out some comb and everything?
Well, I've done that. I've said that before. The 1 to 3 in August, and they did it last August, but not late. I haven't done that this year.
1 to 3.
They're drawing out combs for me right now on that flow that's going on. So
did you say 1 to 3? That's almost no sugar at all, isn't it?
Yep, that's what I was
last year. Yeah, they went crazy with it.
That's dramatic, huh?
But they're drawing comb right now because of that blue pearl, and so I'm just like, I'm happy as a clam. Not only am I probably not going to feed, but I get some comb out of it too. So it's like great.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing.
And
sure.
And like I said, Mark's queens, those things exploded. Okay? Each of them have 4 or 3 boxes now, and I don't know how long that will last. So it's crazy. It's just really been a weird year. It really has.
Yeah, this year.
Todd, did you take the photo that's behind you?
No, I did not. That is okay. So quick thing. When you drive out of Fresno on 41 north to Yosemite, that is right outside of town, right off the highway. And so the farmer painted that several years ago. And that was a March storm that blew through here about 3-4 years ago, and it was really getting with it here, which is weird. It felt like the Midwest weather, but yeah, it's a pretty cool picture. That's all I got.
It is a cool picture. Yeah,
Stay tuned to next episode when Todd gives us 2 minutes. We're gonna have a whole segment. Todd's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Click and go, Todd.
And,
Wake up! I need a water.
and that's all I've got to say about that.
And I took my my empty supers to be rubbed clean, and the bees went crazy. It's rubbing season over here.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
It's a rub fest. It's a
Yeah.
rub fest.
It was nuts. It started like a few bees, then it get more and more and more, and by the
They
time
told 2
all
friends,
12s were out,
and they told 2 friends, and
Huh?
they told 2 friends, and so on and so on.
yeah. So
What's that?
yeah,
Putting supers out, Alex?
12. I took 12 to be rubbed clean
Yeah.
because I can't feed I can't feed 2 weeks in a row because I got to take the bucket back home. Buckets, so there's several. Fill them back up and bring them back to the hives. So what I did is while I collected the buckets.
You
And
need
I-
to put a 40-gallon pump tank in your trunk.
Yeah, I'll pass.
There you go.
I'd like to keep that poor old car for as long as possible.
You
yeah,
need
it
to have
was-
done, my friend.
Yeah, as soon as I can. Don't worry. I
Tell that
started
green
by
honey
getting
you'll
myself a
have
KitchenAid
done for it.
today. Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't get.
How this is working.
You'll do it.
I
Keep with
tried.
the plan. Stick with the plan. You'll do it.
Yeah, make some creamed honey with that mixer I got. I could see when I got the sheet I showed you earlier. I could see the construction was way better. So thank you for the recommendation. It was pricey, but it should last.
Well,
So you got your KitchenAid already?
Will.
I think the KitchenAid is gear driven, isn't it? It's not belt driven, or is it belt driven?
I don't know.
I think it's gear driven.
I don't know. Probably
Well-
gear driven.
Darren
Because
uses it, so it works.
Well, I'd have to open it up to see, but I will Google it. I'll ask Google, the all-knowing Google, and I'll mute myself because my keyboard.
The
Thanks.
Oh man, it's hot in here. Damn, let's see, it hasn't kicked in.
What's that?
It's hot in my house. I got the AC. Well, the AC's not on yet, or right now. Cooking over that hot stove just kind of. It's a gas stove, so it's hot.
It's a good stove.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gear-driven. I just looked it up.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you should be good to go.
So now how are you mixing your sugar water there, Alex?
I
How do
take
you make
a
it?
pail, a 3-gallon pail, fill it up with sugar, add water until it's back to level, and use a drill with a paint mixer attachment. Mix 5 minutes, move on to the next one.
David said his is gear driven, and he had to replace a broken gear years ago.
Years, as in a long time ago.
How long did it last before you had to replace the gear? That would be interesting.
Mm.
So,
I do, Amir. I've got some tablets left. I do. I've got
Bob, I've got a link to share.
Now, your buckets that you feed with, Alex, are they 1-gallon pails or something?
3 gallons. 1 gallons are they're pretty much unfindable over here. I mean, I can cheat and buy 1-gallon honey pails and drill holes in them, but they're flimsy. And the strap to hold them up is made of plastic. So I use them to emergency feed. There's I made a few with a lot of holes in them. So if I want them to chug the sugar down, I just take one of those and plop it on top of the hive. it'll be gone within an afternoon because there's like 20 holes in them.
Alex, there's I had Bob share that link in the chat. There's this YouTuber, he's in British Columbia, and that's about all anybody knows about him. His channel's called AVE. The guy is really, really smart, but he's quite crude and he's hilarious. So, and he does these. He
Is it my
does these. What's that?
Is it my channel?
No, I said he's.
You said
he's hilarious, and he's hilarious, and he's crude.
Well, I mean, I checked the boxes: smart, hilarious, and crude.
Thanks, Bob. So anyway, he does these tool. He does all kinds of videos, but he does some tool reviews, and they include taking the thing completely apart. So I just searched his channel for KitchenAid mixer, and that's your video. So he's going to take that apart for you, and you can see exactly what's inside.
Good, because I opened the the other one, the thorn thickwood something, and there's like those little C clamps you need to use a special tool to force open. That's what was keeping the belt down, since it's C-shaped, it kept hitting the opening, and it was chafing on that. It was really shoddy construction.
You will think you died and gone to heaven with that KitchenAid. That's a really good machine.
Good.
So if you're in the greater Maryland area, Jason's got he's got a $100 barrel mixer with some. He says it uses. I guess it comes with it. Sump pump, PVC pipe, and 75-gallon drum. There you go. Already made. $100. Got everything you need.
Nice.
Right there. So
yeah, those
if I was
well.
well, I don't need it, but if I was there, I would buy that.
I need to get myself a hammer drill to.
You're going to be up this way, Bob. Remember?
Well, if I might be up that way. I haven't even talked to the wife about it because my my stuff is still not showing on my work as far as having the time off. So if that happens, I got to coordinate everything to make it happen and come up there. We might go see the meadery up there. So I was thinking, if I built one of those hives, it'd probably be a pain to. I don't know if I could even do an observation hive like the one in that meadery and put it in because my honey house has all open stud walls. If I could put one colony in every stud wall, you could literally walk into just walls of bees and you walk in.
Bob, I saw a video
That's
today.
literally a honey house.
Yeah. And then they just fly to the outside, right?
I saw a video today, Bob. Somebody made a small, like a camping house. It's the size of one room, and his bed is above hives for warmth. I can link it to you if you want.
Yes, that'd be great.
Give me a second.
All right. Anybody wanting bees? My mentor passed away today, and his girls are going to try and sell as many as they can. $450 for a double. Anybody interested? Email Mark at flatm.mill@yahoo.com. He is in Tennessee. So if you're close to Tennessee and want some good bees, there you go.
Sorry to hear that, Mark.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that as well. But if you need if you need some bees and you want to help somebody out, there you go. See, now y'all make me want to go up there. I'll take
Yeah, Jason,
just give me 100 doubles right now. We'll just game, set, match, and I'll have 17 by the time
wonder how many they got.
I'd go spend $4,500 on hives, and I would in the spring I would have a whopping 17 colonies coming out.
That's
year.
optimism, Bob. That's optimism.
I'm
That's the
just
way to
going on the
think.
law of averages. It doesn't seem to matter how big I get. I come out of spring
17.
with 17. 17 is it.
Yeah, just keep trying, man.
And
that's the trouble. You only get one shot every year. You get one shot. People say, I've been keeping bees for 10 years. Yeah, you've only tried 10 times.
yeah,
You know,
it's the 11th. The 11th is going to get it there.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, and I can't really go to my mentor. I can. I mean, but he does nukes, right? His colonies are supposed to look different than my colonies because of the way he splits and splits and splits. So, I've got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. They're just taking a beating, but we'll get it. We'll get it. I've got some of them on the going the right direction, and now it's can they go the right direction for long enough to get the weight and the numbers they need in the colony to make it till spring, right?
These are a compilation of like several kind of funny videos. At the 30-second mark, 34-second mark, you'll see the honey house.
All right, take a look at it. You are the split king. I'm trying not to split right now. I'm just trying to get them to grow. Just trying to get them to grow. That's it.
Yeah, and those two things are kind of at odds sometimes, aren't they? Splitting and growing.
Yeah, they don't.
Because both use the same kind of momentum, same kind of resource.
It's a. I mean, I made the decision at the beginning of the year to grow, and that was the goal. Honey be damned, I was going to grow, and I did. I mean, I have at this point anyway. Spring might be a different story, but as of right now, it's everything's grown, right? And as a happy accident, yes, we made more honey this year than we did last year, so that's a good thing. So we'll see. We just got to keep them alive, keep them going.
Come on.
Yeah, there is no forage. That's the problem. There's no forage right now, and it has been this way for a few months now. And then the goldenrod comes in. It's like they're just pulling pollen and no nectar, because if you put feed out, they're on it like crazy. And I don't know, the forage area. I mean, it's 2 miles. I mean, it's not like it's, I don't live in neighborhoods. I'm in the country, kind of pseudo country, and I got the army base right down the street. That's nothing but woods, the whole thing, right? And they don't maintain that property out there. So, and there's tons of goldenrod and stuff going around. So I don't know. Don't know. We're just going to keep it going. Keep it going. That's what we're going to do. Well, you guys are so exciting tonight.
Sorry, buddy. Still a little tired.
It's Saturday.
I've got 2 hours feeding bees today.
Come on, it's Saturday. We only have one more work day this week. You should be excited.
Only one more work day.
I don't have much to say. Like, I picked up some bucket and dropped off some boxes.
That's about all there is to these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'm completely out of gin, so.
Oh no!
Now I know what the problem is.
Fun Brad is on vacation.
Oh no!
He's not here today.
Road trip.
No, Charlie's
I guess
waiting on his text from his girlfriend there to say, I got to go. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. That happens every Saturday night. Y'all haven't noticed? Go back and watch the videos from the previous Saturday nights.
I got to go. Click.
Yeah. Charlie's not even listening to us right now.
I think last week he said, I'll be right back, or I'll be back.
Look, he's got us muted because he's not looking at us, and he doesn't hear that we're talking about him.
That's right.
So we could say
That's right.
anything we want. We
could say anything we want.
I wonder what's going through his head right now. Well, I need to do some more single brood chamber management tomorrow. I need to mix up this tote of sugar syrup and get some.
Then I have to wash my truck.
Come on, he can't even.
Then I'm going to
defend himself.
my truck, and I need to be more specific about that.
We're live. We're live.
Charlie, you can hear us again?
Yeah, now I can.
You missed it.
What?
They said it looks. Someone in the chat said it looks like Charlie's doing his taxes. I said no, he's probably waiting on his girlfriend to text him so he can log out and go run off of here. And
now I just wanted to tell Jason there, the mentee that I have here. He's interested in his sugar making machine. He will call him tomorrow or text him.
Oh, nice.
Well, there you go.
Perfect.
And he's
That's
about,
a good deal.
he's an hour and 15 minutes away.
But
Sweet.
honey sump. I mean,
So that way I could get rid of him using my machine. That's the big one.
You'd pay for it for him.
Yeah. Here, a gift. Get the hell away from me.
It's your own machine.
Oh, that's funny. But the yeah, I mean that's I would totally have bought that.
I did, Jason.
And so Charlie, you had us muted and you couldn't hear what we were saying and you were muted.
Yeah,
so
I had to mute you so
we were voiceovering like the thought of your head, what you were thinking about, and we're like, I really need to do some more single brood chamber management tomorrow. And then I need to mix up this pallet of sugar syrup to put some feed on my bees. But I really need to be more specific about that. And then I got to wash my truck when I'm done. You can't hear me now. You can't.
He's muted you again.
He muted me.
He muted you.
I can hear you.
Oh, man. He's like, I had enough of that. Click.
You're out of here.
He just pretends he can't hear you.
I can hear him. Sometimes I just mute and also
You just have to
mute you
pretend like
guys
you
out
can't
so
hear.
it doesn't. My phone hears it and it'll start texting.
Texting Charlie's friends and stuff that we say.
So if I were to make my honey house like a total beehives, the problem I would have is how do you keep hive beetles out of that? Right.
The problem of it is how you're going to keep them alive, because every one of them things I've ever seen, even the little small ones that are like 4 frames, they're miserable to keep alive.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah,
They've had them in different clubs has had them, and you got to take them out, and that's another thing is you got to take them suckers. You got to clean that thing out occasionally or whatever. And you got to, usually you want one that's only about 3 foot tall that you can pick up and lift and take it outside. And if it's got a dead ouch, you got to take it outside and do all your maintenance work. Or let's say you need to feed them. Well, you have to put frames of honey in there to feed them, I think is how it's working. And, you got to open that thing up to do all that. So it's not as easy.
It reminds me, that Australian beekeeper, I forget, Bush something.
The Bushman?
Yeah, he had a really large hive in an aquarium.
Oh, yeah.
On his balcony.
Pulling that thing apart. He was
such
drowning
a
bees
mess.
in there and everything else. It was on his patio. Yeah. But, I mean, I think they're cool. But just think if I had that porch cleaned up and that was along the wall and people came to get honey and the whole wall was just bees on the inside, they'd probably call the loony truck for me. You know what I mean? The paddy wagon, be like, yeah, something's wrong with this guy. You need to come get him.
He dances with the bees.
Well, you could go around the whole building and just drill 3/4 holes and put the little disc all the way around the whole building where the hives are, so they could just literally go straight in and out of the wall. Of course, you'd never sell the place. You could never sell the place after property. Hey, you can buy the house with or without the bees. It's an extra 10 grand with the bees.
Somebody calls the pest control. There's bees in my wall. No, literally.
Yeah, see, we're
there's
Sourwood there.
Hives in my wall.
Sourwood's got a 4-frame medium, and that's what I'm talking about. It's either a lot of times they're either mediums or they're deep frames.
I got a 5-frame nuke one that I got from Man Lake.
Yeah, but that's an observation high, or
yeah,
that's more for going
like
to a
nuke.
school.
Right.
You got your, you put your hive in the bottom end of it like a nuke, and then it has a queen excluder or something underneath there, and then it goes up with 1 frame. And the one I'm thinking about is you usually have about 6 frames. It's 2 side by side, 2 side by side, and 2 side by side. It's 3 frames tall.
I just saw the dumbest move in the history of football. Todd.
Speaking of football.
Is it Fresno State?
No, it's Mississippi State. It was 4th and 3. They snap the ball, and he spikes it to stop the clock. And now the ball turned over in their own territory. So my team might be doing good. Observation Hive is for you swarm producers. Oh my gosh. Sell them the house and then charge to do the cutout. That's it. He also has single 10s that are F1s out of Corey's breeder queen. Ooh. 250. Mark, load them on your trailer. How many can you get on it and bring to me?
I don't know if Mark heard earlier what I was talking about his queens, but Mark, those hives I added a 3rd box to them. They're making tons of honey, and they started in July, basically around the first week of July into June.
I had a queen. Now, I cannot attest to how old the queen was when I got the nuke in the spring last year. In that colony, it was a 5-frame nuke when I got it, but it was packed. And I put it in, and they drew that thing out, and we're like 4 deeps or 4 supers, right? And I mean, thing was probably 5 foot tall. And they just that was the one that just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And then it was 2 frames. And then I gave it to my mentor, and he nursed it back by putting brood after brood after brood after brood. And now they superseded her. And once they superseded her, she became, now it's a double 8 now, I think.
Wow.
So
it's double brood chamber management?
It's double nuke hive management for him. But that's good. I mean, it was a good queen until it wasn't a good queen anymore, right? So
I had one of those last year. It started amazing, and then the pattern got all like shotgun like.
That's the main problem with buying nukes is you don't know how old that queen is. Yeah, it might have a red or a yellow mark on it or something like that, but you don't really know, right? You don't really know. They could be like, oh yeah, that was I think that's this year's queen. Go ahead and put a red dot on it, and then she has a great year, and all of a sudden, done. Look at this.
I know. I need to go to the bathroom. I'll just wait till someone.
Look at that, man. It'd be like, this is how we run live streams now. Everybody just joins and leaves. 9 people here, 3 on the screen.
Oh man!
I hear the microwave pop.
Yeah,
Charlie. I heard the dee dee dee.
Popcorn is ready. In 3 minutes.
That's Yeah, all good queens are good. All queens are good queens until they're not. That's it. Until they're not. That's it. Charlie, we heard the microwave beeping.
Yeah.
And you're blurry all of a sudden.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at what's that deal
What?
about?
Were you and Brad getting popcorn or what? You both came back at the same time.
They both went to the kitchen at the same time, made a sandwich, came back, a couple slices of cheese, some pastrami.
Are you making things up again?
Well, you both got up and left the screen at the same time, so we just saw your backgrounds, and then we hear the microwave button going deet, deet, deet in the background.
What? Who? Todd?
No. We heard Charlie's microwave beeping.
Oh, okay. My mic was muted, so
and then both of you magically appeared basically at the same time, so we thought you're both in the same kitchen getting food and stuff.
Well, I had to get some Pepsi.
Oh, I know what goes with that.
Yeah, but that's
sugar.
That low test Pepsi there.
That is the lowest test Pepsi you'll get. There's no caffeine and no sugar.
Man, that's terrible.
Good evening drink.
Don't you mix it with something?
I mean, if it don't have caffeine, what good is it?
Todd, I have nothing to mix it with.
You're kidding.
I've gone. I have Fresca.
Gone through all that Fresca.
I have Pepsi, and I have nothing to mix. Nothing.
I know what I would be doing tomorrow.
I think I got a road trip tomorrow.
Time to go check the honey supply at the liquor store.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta go check some hives. I'll be back.
Yeah, I gotta go to the out yard, dear.
All right, so 18 frame extractor.
Dang, I wish I was. Hey, maybe I could call my ex and see if she'll buy that for me, then tell her to ship it to me.
But I still got this, so.
Hey, that's probably what I got.
Ooh, there you go.
You know,
that'll work.
Says it's half price. It's 3 years old.
She'd probably charge me double.
So I'm drowning my sorghums in garlic sausage.
Garlic sausage? Is it deer? Is it venison garlic sausage or pork garlic sausage?
Not pork, I guess.
I wonder what garlic honey tastes
or illegal
like.
black bear garlic sausage.
Costco garlic sausage. That's really good.
It looks like Mississippi State's wheels are falling off here. So good.
So Shane, what are you painting? Boxes or the walls?
Like Bob Ross painting, or
making some happy little trees.
Well, we'll put this little beehive over here.
Look, it's such a happy little beehive.
This little beehive lives over here.
That guy was soothing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Why he put you to sleep?
Did you ever watch the special on him?
Yeah.
Like he got screwed. He's like, by the time he was done, he was broke. After all those years. Yeah, he got screwed bad by his
another Bert Chavez, eh?
Yeah, he's like what's the guy who managed old Elvis there? That manager guy? Basically,
Colonel Parker.
Yeah, basically, the his manager ended up getting all the rights to all of his stuff.
50% of everything Elvis made.
So it was no good. It's on Netflix, I think, but I don't remember the name of it. Not that, you have to be really bored to watch a film entirely dedicated to Bob Ross.
Now Todd and Charlie.
Now Charlie and Todd are gone. Charlie went to get his popcorn. Todd went to the restroom. Bottom boards, top covers, deep inner covers. Yep, I still got to build the rest of those 40 boxes, right? So I'm starting to run out of room to store stuff. So I got to take the bottom boards out so I can put my boxes together and somehow get everything done. I'll get it there. It'll just take me a minute. That's it.
Well, for me, it won't be as expensive for next year because I'm not expanding my apiaries. I'm going to start 30, 35 hives. I might buy more honey supers. Well, that's about it.
Well, the good part about it is, at least for in my case, I lose so many every year. I always have lots of fresh drawn comb for the next spring. And
Well, that is a blessing. That's a
Yeah.
silver lining, kind of consolation prize.
I'm kind of a cup half full kind of
Half
guy.
full kind of guy. I was going to say, Alex, I think that's wise of you and good for you, because so often we get wrapped up in expansion. But I was thinking, your premium honey that you make, you could take that premium honey and jar it up and sell it at a premium price, and then go and buy with that money canola honey, and you'll be buying a lot more canola honey than that, and cream that and put some of your flavor recipes in it, cinnamon, etc., and then you sell it for even more than what you bought the canola for. So you'll like quadruple your take on your honey.
The
And keep my
dreamy,
basswood honey for
the no truck honey co.
liquid honey.
Keep your
What?
basswood honey, like sell that at a very premium price, like $15 a pound or something.
It's the no truck honey co. Or the dreamy,
Yeah.
creamy honey company.
I tell you, the Hermit Honey Company.
I thought it was the Hermit Honey Company.
No, it was the
Well, I
Troll Under
already
the
have a
Bridge
company
Honey
name.
Company. Troll Under the Bridge Honey Co.
Troll under the bridge. Oh goodness.
Is your
And-
name Shrek?
I'm
That's Shrek Honey Company.
well, Disney would sue you for that.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I've seen Winnie the Pooh honey on the shelf, so somebody has licensed with Disney to use Winnie the Pooh.
Don't try to sell that in China.
Shane.
Some supreme leader might take offense.
But it's Alex, I mean, you got the model, I think, now it's just improving your recipes and your marketing, and you're good to go.
You got the basis of a model. You just have to flesh it out and develop it.
You don't have the figure of a model, but you've got the the basis of a model.
Oh, Bob.
No, I don't have the figure of I have the figure of
I
a
don't
potato,
either.
maybe.
But the funny thing is that, obviously we joke with each other, but we all know that it's just a joke, right? We're not. Don't everybody get excited in the comments. We're just doing what we do. And if you think this is
all
That is
offended.
so mean.
But see, Alex, the proper response, but I identify as a model, so therefore I am.
Oh God, please don't.
That'll be enough of that talk.
Hey,
I
they got
identify as a
they
millionaire.
got big women models now, so there should be big guy models. Is all I'm saying.
So,
That's great. The One Tree Honey Company.
The One Tree Honey Company.
That's awesome.
What?
Basswood and Co.
Now, I'm gonna keep my name. It's already not trademarked, but registered. But yeah.
Well, see,
LaGrange.
that's the whole thing. Your business name and your honey label don't have to be the same.
Yeah. And your brand is not your logo. That's what I learned. So you have to figure out a brand, colors and fonts and things. You have to brand your products.
I've
And
already
it's
had.
Did you get the business cards yet, Alex?
No, I'm designing one. I have one. I think good enough.
Well, if you
I
think
need
it's
to
good
have
enough,
them
it's
printed.
not good enough.
Don't
You gotta
overthink it.
know it's good enough.
Don't overthink it. People don't give a crap what it looks like. Make sure your
Right.
info's on there. Something that isn't offensive and has the details they need to know about you. That's all you need. People don't care what it looks like.
See, I could change mine to Hot Hives Honey. They wouldn't know what it would be. These came from some pissed off bees. That's where it came from. Here you go.
A little picture of an angry bee.
Yeah.
And now he's gonna make the Angry Bee video game instead of Angry
With
Bird.
the beekeeper wearing like a robber mask because he's stealing the honey from the bee.
Yeah.
And
Mini
you could
trucks
go
are
on
us.
Fiverr, Alex.
What?
You could go on Fiverr and say, hey, I want a unique idea for a logo for a label, just for a label, not for your company, because it could be Creamy Dreamy Honey by LaGrange Bees or bottled by LaGrange Bees. And you haven't changed anything. It's just a different line of your product, right? So,
Okay, I get. Okay, I understand what you mean.
so prime example, right? Swarm Rustler. Well, this is kind of smushed, but and Honey Rustler. I follow the same line, right? Same look, same company, different products. Just thought process. Nothing wrong with your name.
I sometimes have those thoughts.
So Lagrange, is that a French thing?
I like astronomy and quantum mechanics. Lagrange is a French scientist.
You lost me.
Huh?
I
No,
thought that, I
I'm
thought
just
that
making
was
a point, Alex. The Billy Bee, the most popular honey in Canada, Billy Bee. It's not a cerebral name. It's just like some stupid looking bee, and his name is Billy.
Well, neither is Lagrange.
That's what
I
works.
wanted why I
right?
named it that way.
Right, but when someone asks you,
And-
why'd you
and
name it
this is-
Lagrange? They don't want, well, because of quantum science.
Yeah, this is
that's not what they're
exactly
looking
what I'm saying. If you can't
Okay.
explain it in like 4 words, it's too complicated. And there's nothing wrong with having that as your company name. The name of your honey product, though, the One Tree Honey Company. Why is it? Because I have one tree, or whatever, right? The Hermit Honey Company. Well, why is a hermit? Well, I'm kind of a hermit, so okay. Well, that's But the
Okay.
whole explanation is I like astronomy, and there's this guy who lived like 500 years ago, and he kind of looked at the stars, and then and then you look up, and the customer is like gone, and it's like, hey, I'm not done yet, right?
Come back.
This
Wait,
is
there's
all I'm
more.
saying, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I interrupted to kind of illustrate that after the first sentence, it's kind of like, oh God, I'm never gonna ask that question again, kind of thing, right? It's you watch. Maybe you're not a TV guy, but Big Bang Theory. You watch Big
Oh, yeah, I
Bang
love
Theory?
that show.
I know the name. I never watched it.
Well,
It's
the
great.
Sheldon Cooper character, they'll be all gathered around in the living room, and somebody will say, like somebody new will say, "Oh, Sheldon, how come something or other?" And everybody go, "Oh, you didn't have to ask him that." And then you have to sit through a half an hour explanation of why he sits in the same spot in the living room as because he has it all worked out, right? And it's kind of like, oh man, I'm never asking that question again. So
Sometimes
this is
simplicity is
all.
key.
I'm just trying to comment on that it has to be like super simple. The name, even the name of mine is pretty complicated for some people. A lot of people get it, but some people don't. And it's kind of, I kind of have to explain that. And
Okay. Shut up, Alex.
No.
no, that's absolutely not. But I'm saying the company name, that's clever, right? That's deep and that's clever. The honey product name, dumb it down, like super simple. If you can't explain it in 6 words or less, then go to the next iteration until you can, kind of thing. And if your logo doesn't look good in black and white, don't go with that logo. Like your logo has to look good in black and white, and then you can
It
start adding
does.
color.
I think I've shown you my logo.
Yeah, we've covered this.
Just don't label it premium. It's probably trademarked. Who's this guy? I haven't seen him since last night. Darren.
Right.
Darren.
What's up?
How you doing, Darren?
Good.
What's
good.
he no good tonight?
Packaging up some
Cream honey.
comb honey. Comb honey.
Or comb honey, I mean.
Nice. Are those like clamshell kind of a package?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm trying. I'm not being. Please don't think I'm being harsh on you, Alex. I care about your success. Is why I'm trying to,
And this is the only time we get to brutalize you.
Yeah, I didn't take offense. Don't worry.
Good.
It's like myself,
I know,
with, like my
easily.
name, Sawmill Charlie's Bee Farm. How did I come up with that? I used to go to these dances, and this guy was one of my customers. And here's Sawmill Charlie. Hey, so he'd just say Sawmill Charlie. And after, when I got into bees, I'm like, you know what? That's pretty catchy. And so that's how I came up with that. Somebody else actually came up with the name as a sort of a nickname, I guess you'd call it.
Example, Alex, my first company was called Edifice Architecture. Now it's Places Made Architecture. Brad is a wise man as well as a wise ass.
That's right. I inherited the latter. You ask James sometime about his, old McNally's honey, and it came from a little kid. I don't remember the exact story, but it was a little kid. He was somewhere, and he didn't have a name, and this little kid said, they said it was McNally or something. It says, "Oh, it was old McNally's honey," and James went, "Hell yeah!" And that was the name. So a little kid came up with it.
Well,
right?
You want something where it's easy for people to remember, right?
Right.
Right now, I'm at Walker Bee Ranch, and just people know that I'm the honey guy, right? Like on the video today, my wife's been on my ass to come by here for months to get some honey, and I haven't been able to catch you. They know where I'm at. They know what I sell, but they obviously don't know Google to see the hours that I'm here and stuff. So, but it worked out. But when you start sharing it, that's when it becomes, oh, well, they want to be able to find it. They want to be able to, let's search, One Tree Honey Company or something like that. And I think that's an awesome name.
Yeah, and have on your
Country Honey
label,
Company.
have a big sprawling tree,
Somebody
No,
else
that
has
might
a
be
big sprawling
copyrighted.
tree, right?
That might
Huh?
be
Somebody else. That looks familiar. A big sprawling tree in a circle. Maybe you could do that. That looks familiar.
silhouette
to me.
of a tree, like a big oak tree or something.
Yeah, like
Or
nature.
a basswood tree.
Something like nature.
Basswood
Just
tree.
an image that would be kind of like nature in one
Yeah.
big tree.
I
kind of.
thought it was going to be
Lighthouse in the
called
background.
Alex. I thought it was No Truck Honey Company.
No Truck Honey Company.
I thought that's
One
what it
tree,
was.
no truck. One tree.
One tree, no truck.
One tree, no truck. The One
then
Tree Malibu Company.
And then when the Malibu breaks down, it could be the Tow Truck Honey Company.
The Tow Truck Honey Company.
Now, as far as Nature's Zimmer's Farm, that ain't no tree. That looks like a bunch of roots.
It's a family tree. That's what they typically use when they do family trees, right? They put the little decorative names on it and stuff.
See, I didn't get it.
Oh, it looks like a scrub to me.
It's just a tree,
It's just a tree.
but it's one
Yeah, I
tree.
didn't get the family tree reference either. I just thought it was a tree where you could see the roots.
Well, that's what it reminds me of. Truckless honey by local.
There's not a lighthouse in sight in that image. It's just a tree.
Good point.
That's true. There you go. Lighthouse Honey Company. But
The
you're not on
Lighthouse
the
Honey
coast, though.
Company.
I like No Truck. No Truck Honey Company.
No Truck Honey Company.
That's pretty good.
And they'll be like, where can we get it? Well, you have to come to my house because I've got no truck. That's the whole thing.
No Transportation Honey Company.
Yeah. The U Drive Honey Company.
I would be
Oh,
curious.
you
I would be curious, Alex, and this is something that you need to look into. Uber will, in places like what's Uber and Instacart and places like that, will come and pick products up from you when people order them. So I haven't heard of it, but if you're only open on the weekends, let's say you put Saturday and Sunday, and that product's available only Saturday and Sunday when you're not working, or maybe 5 to 9 in the evenings, whenever, that they can come by and get it, that you can put your store active where people can go online and order it, and the Uber driver will come pick that order up and carry it to their house for them. And they pay the delivery fee. And you pay a little surcharge to Uber, I guess, for the service. But
there a service called Instacart?
Yeah.
Or DoorDash.
Yeah.
DoorDash. All of them.
There's all kinds of those. I'm sure you could set up with one of those.
Stop by the local bridge where the troll is.
And it still counts as me selling it, I imagine, since it's not from in a retail store. So I bypass this.
It might be stretching it there. You don't know.
Okay.
But technically, if they're coming to get it from you, buying it directly from you, you're not breaking any rules there, I think, because it's the same as if they come and pick it up. They just have someone else picking it up for them.
Maybe. I don't know what your rules are. My provincial rules, I don't think that's quite right for the provincial jurisdiction I'm in, because it really has to be me handing it to the customer or a member of my family. So, just look at your legislations and you can work it out.
Well, first of all, nobody's Ubering 45 minutes to get their honey from you from the nearest town.
No.
But when you live in Quebec, it's a bigger city, right? I mean, guaranteed some old lady's like, damn it, I'm out of honey for my tea today. Oh, look, what's this? One Tree Honey Company.
One Tree Honey Company. You can have your honey before your tea is cold.
And
well, that's just what I want.
And you can list all of your honeys on there, right? So you could get runny honey or premium creamed honey for their toast and biscuits and bagels or whatever they eat. Probably bagels, baguettes.
Baguette, huh?
Oh, you're muted.
Baguettes aren't that a big a thing here.
What do you like, biscuits?
Ooh.
No.
Biscuits.
Scones. What do you guys eat over there?
Biscuits.
Yeah. So
I like biscuits and gravy.
That's right.
Here, make Homer crazy.
Oh, man.
Put some bacon on there. You're in good shape. I bet you could put honey on your Canadian bacon.
They already have that, I think, don't they?
You know what they call it in Canada, right? Bacon.
Well, no, we don't.
Bacon and bacon.
It's ham.
We don't eat it. The only people who eat Canadian bacon are Americans.
Americans?
I think that's so ironic.
Honey poutine.
Oh, God, Wash. That sounds awful.
Honey poutine.
That sounds awful.
What's that mean? Is that a French word?
Poutine is a meal. It's basically fries, gravy, and curdled cheese.
Cheese curds.
That sounds gross.
Cheese curds, yes.
It's
cheese curds.
actually
Curdled
pretty
cheese
amazing.
is
Not the same thing.
Oh,
yeah, sorry, mixing my things here.
Cheese
No.
curd. So
Cheese
it's
curds.
cheese before it's made
smushed together
into
into a block.
Yeah. It's actually really delicious because
I love them.
you're supposed to make the gravy so hot that it kind of melts the cheese curd, and it's super good.
No, wait.
Isn't poutine the translation of poutine, Alex? Isn't it like a mess or something like that? Isn't that
Something
what
like
the
that. Yeah,
translation is?
it's slang. It's
Aren't
not
you,
a
Frank?
real word.
It's only like 30 years old or something. It was invented
Yeah.
like 30 years ago or something.
Alex, didn't
some
you just say you
college
wouldn't
kid.
touch that?
Sorry, what, Darren?
Didn't you just say that you wouldn't touch the poutine? Is that was
With honey? No.
Honey poutine.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. Like I said, like curd cheese and gravy and fries. I don't see that going well with honey.
See, fries and gravy aren't a thing in America either. So that sounds pretty disgusting to them.
My
Fries and gravy.
friend, have never been to a Waffle House.
French fries
Yeah,
and gravy.
fries and gravy are big here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Really?
French
So
fries and gravy?
They certainly weren't when I started going to America years ago.
I've been only like once or twice in the U.S., so I can't really say.
When I used to go regularly, it was you ask for fries and gravy, and they look at you like you got two heads. It's like, what What did you want? Fries and gravy? You want gravy on your veg fries?
Alex, how far are you from the U.S. border?
About 2 hours drive.
Okay.
I'm really near Vermont.
Are you?
I could get to, like, say, Michael Palmer's place within 2 hours.
I'm sorry, I must be on.
Oh,
I'm on the home cooking channel.
Yeah.
I need
home
to over
cooking.
here.
I can see you there.
Talk about bees.
Well, you know where Montreal
Index
is?
for my eyes, they're kind of glassed over.
Darren, can you show us that clamshell again? I'm going to make you big because I think Brad was
Wow.
kind of interested.
Canadian, what they call Canadian bacon is back
It's just a
bacon.
clamshell. It's just one of these.
Yes, we'll lift it up where we
It's
can
not-
see it.
In the center.
That's
There
beautiful.
you go.
And
It's very nice back.
where are you buying those clamshells at?
Why, Man Lake?
I believe I did.
Really?
I think
Yeah.
so. But I was going to ask Bob, because Bob, this is why I brought this up, was what did Brian say the other night where he got the half clamshells? Because I got some of these are only like a half. Like
He bought
that's-
those from, he said, Blue Sky or Better Be. And
That's a 2x4s.
he did say Blue Sky. That's what it was. So I got to
I
get some.
think- hold on. We're going to do some research here.
Grapple.
Berlin Packaging. I'm sure they have them there. That is
I'm gonna
probably
check Blue Sky.
cheaper.
Has
I have
anyone
some.
tried gravy and fried chicken?
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, KFC, right?
Oh wait, not gravy. Isn't it syrup? They put syrup over fried chicken,
No, it's
like at the Waffle House. I've never tried it.
isn't it like a real thick gravy, like a brown gravy, like that you're talking about? Like it's
Maybe it is gravy. It's either gravy or syrup. I can't remember which.
it's the same gravy that they put over biscuits. Is that what you're talking about? Like
Yeah,
No,
that's
Not
white
the white gravy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The brown gravy.
Nah.
brown gravy.
You want white gravy with biscuits.
See that
Oh,
white
yeah,
gravy and biscuits is not a thing in Canada. I really wish it was.
Honey and biscuits. That's what you
The
said?
gravy, the white gravy,
Oh,
and the
gravy.
biscuits and
Oh.
gravy. That's not a
Oh.
thing in Canada.
Do they
And I
make it?
really wish it was.
It
What's
ain't
that?
much around here until you get down deep south.
Do they not? You can't buy the stuff to make it there? I mean, you can. I mean, probably at the grocery store, right? Or no? Or because it's just not a thing.
Yeah, make your own. Go to the store. You could buy the gravy.
You can
buy
make your own.
sausage.
You
buy
can sure you can
sausage
make your
gravy.
own, and I've done it. But you go to a restaurant or something, it's not a thing.
Man, that's like a meal. Biscuits and
Oh,
gravy.
Love it.
That's a southern thing down here, down in the deep south. That's down here in
Well,
Bob's territory.
You go to truck stop. Every truck stop up here, like North Dakota, Minnesota, in there, South Dakota, it's all
Mm,
biscuits and gravy. Yeah.
good
Go to
stuff.
Cracker Barrel. Get your biscuits
Cracker
and
Barrel,
gravy at
that's right.
Cracker Barrel.
All right, I gotta leave.
Booty call.
The popcorn's ready.
That's too bad,
You
Charlie.
can be back later, right?
Sorry you have to go.
I don't know about that, whether I get back or not.
Well, have fun.
Yeah.
Be
Be the
realistic. It's
best
not
2
going to take
minutes
that
of your
long.
life, Charlie.
Huh?
Be the best 2 minutes of your life. I was saying it won't be gone that long. How long could it take?
I don't know. Hell, it was what? Damn, 1 o'clock in the morning this morning. We were on this thing.
Oh, gosh.
Uh,
See, I bailed out early.
Yeah, I know you did. Yeah, we still kept on going. All right, I might be back. I don't know.
no.
All right. See
All
you,
right.
Charlie.
See you, Charlie. You called that one, Bob.
I know.
Becoming a regular Saturday night thing now. All of a sudden,
Hey, you got to get it when the getting's good, I guess.
you got to do it when you got to do it. I guess.
I thought of you today, Todd.
Uh-oh.
When I was at the UPS store, there's a wax salon right next to it, and it says "first wax free" on the door. And I was wondering if your girl came over there to work and she's looking for a new guy.
Oh
She's
man.
offering up free waxes.
No, I think she's pretty stationary over here.
So Webstront sells clamshells as well.
What's up, Blaine?
So
How much are they on the Webstront?
what size are the ones you're getting there?
I think these are 4x4. Does that sound right? Is that?
Does it not have an ounce or
I don't think
4
so.
ounce?
Maybe it is 4 ounce. I think I got these from Man Lake. I've had these for a while. I got a big bulk of them when I bought them.
So 4 ounce ones, I don't know what are.
No, 4 ounce must be the. Would that be like the half then?
4
I guess.
ounce? That's tiny.
Yeah, that's tiny.
Like mine are, 10 to 16 ounce.
I think I'm assuming this is 16. I'm thinking.
Okay.
That'd be near the pound, yeah.
All right,
Is this what you use, Brad? Is this what you use?
Oh, I was admiring that. I would love to use those.
Really?
But that's about the size, right? That's about a pound, or could be up
a
to
case
a pound.
of 200 of them, $31.49.
$31.
That's all right.
200.
If you buy more than 10 cases, you get them for $28.81 a piece. But
you said that's a little one?
This is a 16 ounce.
It's
Oh,
15 and a
16
half, 15 and a half cents each.
Oh yeah. Well, I buy mine like 250 at a time. Yeah, see, that just looks like a Tupperware container.
Yeah,
it's a clamshell.
But that's not the right kind.
Yeah.
No, that's not what you want.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying here. Give me a break. I'm looking for something for bee use on a site that's not bee friendly, I guess. Let me see.
Well, that's why it won't work.
Jesus, you guys are so critical.
Tough audience, eh?
No, it's not like every one of you guys are sitting in front of a Googler right now. I'm just saying. Let's see.
I don't have a Google.
But they have all different shapes and sizes. You got a Whopper container down here. Yeah, you'd have to know the dimensions, I guess. 12-ounce dart tamper resistant, David says. Dart.
I'll try to bring up a picture of mine.
Somebody in the chat was saying with these clamshells that they were getting ants, and I can kind of see that happening. If
what was that one you were hovering over, Bob?
This one?
Yeah.
Isn't that the one?
It
says 6-inch square. You're doing a 4-inch square.
Yeah, it's too big.
Well, 6-inch. I mean, yeah, give you, if you're cutting 4x4s, then you got an inch on each side, right? Space there. 3x3. 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. I don't know.
Can I share something, Bob, when you're done?
I'm done right now, sir. Go right ahead.
Are you done? Okay. I'll see if I can remember how. So that is literally a picture of one of my trays of comb.
That's what the Chinese carryouts.
Kind of. And that'll fit like a 16-ounce section at the maximum.
Is that your comb, actually, Brad?
That is actually one of my combs. Yes.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah,
I like
they're
that.
pretty nice.
Yeah.
Do you have one all labeled up and everything? A picture of that?
I don't know that I do. I think I do. Just let me see if I can find it here. I know I do. I have pictures of all that stuff.
Boy.
Hey, Todd. I put that bottom board back in there. I checked it today, and it had hive beetles all over it already. Again, not a ton of them, but literally oiled it in the video, put it in, came back 5 minutes later. There's 3 or 4 beetles in the bottom.
That video you put up today. I never got a notification for that. And I'm like, what?
That's because I blocked you.
Oh.
No. Oh, that looks good.
See,
Yeah, that's one of my trays.
How do you get those labels made?
Yeah, that was my question.
Go to the place that makes labels and say, "Here's some artwork. Make me some labels."
yeah. Brad, is the bottom see-through? It's clear view? The bottom half?
No, the bottom is aluminum.
No, it's aluminum tray
Aluminum, okay.
with a clear
But I
clamshell
like
on
the
top.
fold over piece there, right? So
Yeah.
I like that. I'm surprised that in Canada they don't make you put shrink around there or something. For tamper.
Well, I think that is okay. However, I pack these at home, so I don't sell them retail. I just sell them direct.
You sell a lot of those, Brad?
I sell quite a few. I'll sell a couple hundred a year.
Would you sell this? Would you? I don't know if you can get a close up on this, Bob or whoever's.
I can make you big if you hold it in front of the camera.
Make them big.
I don't know if you can see it, but like that there, I thought if I discount that, should I
just do it by the weight? Like Philip does, right? All of his have different prices because it's based on whatever the weight is in the.
Yeah.
And a lot of this, like when it comes to comb honey, like a lot of people, it's like a visual thing, I guess. And
It is.
You know what?
That's borderline for me.
Yeah.
Especially because there's honey in the uncapped cells. That's the one of the things that I avoid is if there's uncapped cells, they should be empty.
Right.
But that would be a good candidate for chunk honey, right?
Chunk honey.
Chunk
That's what I
honey
was
would be
thinking.
perfect. Yeah. Or sometimes I'll sell, bits and pieces. So I'll have a tray that's maybe got 2 or 3 pieces in it. So you
I
can
thought
kind of
about it
trim that.
in my hometown, I could just set it up in my yard, and somebody would eventually buy it. They'll buy anything in this town.
Oh.
You put a little flat tire out front, they'll buy it.
I have a charcuterie maker who buys a lot of comb, and it's good because she cuts it up into small pieces, puts it in a little cup on the charcuterie board. So she doesn't need, one big, beautiful 16-ounce section that's just perfect. I can sell her the thinner stuff and the smaller pieces and stuff, and I just sell it by the pound.
Blaine is saying he likes these.
Those are the snap-on.
Yeah, those
they're
are nice.
$1.30 a piece US. So
yeah, big money.
But you get 100 to a case. So, but those are, they're nice, right?
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Except for the price.
Yeah.
I do like those, though. I like your method, though, Brad, also because with the aluminum bottom, they can't look underneath it to see what's under.
Well, that's true because, no matter what you do, like I kind of have a stainless cooling rack that I use. I'll lay the comb out on it and then I'll cut it in sections. And I have an egg flipper that I'll scoop under it and set it in the tray. So you're always going to get a little something or other wrong with the bottom because you're picking it up like that. But then in an aluminum tray, you can't really, you're just really looking at one side. You pick the best side,
right.
you know.
But yeah, that looks. I like those trays too. But
those,
now you're getting into hog half comb pricing there.
Yeah. I always feel like I should be using those for some reason. I'm not sure what it is.
The name.
Maybe it is. I don't think it's family, but.
But if you buy 10 cases, they're $1.12 a piece.
Oh, gee.
It's a glass jar.
10 cases, so I got to buy $1,300 worth.
Yep, to save save $18
So I
a
have to buy
case.
1,000 of them. It'll take me
5 years.
4 to 5 years. I can cut 200 to 300 sections in a year, in a season. That's likely what I'll be doing next week, because this week I'll be done extracting, and then the next week it'll be packaging the comb honey.
That label that you put on yours, what kind of price do you get on that label?
I'm gonna say 25 cents.
So I mean, is it paper, like you just wrap it around, or is it a sticker that you, like a tape that you put around there?
It's actually a jar label. It's kind of a generic label I use. It doesn't say much about the product. Like, it doesn't say a size or anything like that. It doesn't say liquid honey, creamed honey. It just, it's just a generic label I can put on almost anything. It's made for a 500-gram jar, and it just happened to fit on that container real nice. No, it just goes down the sides
and then
maybe
wrapped around the edge.
very, very slightly maybe on the bottom corner. So it fits really perfectly on that tray, and it acts as a seal as well. So you can't open the lid, because as you say, there's no shrink or anything on it. So somebody could open it, but it's kind of a seal.
And
So
here's a question I don't think anybody asked, right? So you're making 200 of these. How will they support each other pretty well with the weight, or you have to be very conscious on how many you stack up in a box or whatever you're storing them in?
No, I'm actually pretty rough with them. I put them in my boxes that my kilogram jars come in, and I'll put 18 of them in a box, and I'll stack them 3 or 4 deep in my freezer. I set them down nice and gently, but so there's 3 deep in the box, and so there's 9 to 12 deep when I get them in the freezer. So yeah, I stack them up in there, and I don't seem to have a lot of breakage. But again, it's just me, so I am a little bit gentle.
I got notification that my product has been shipped for my tote, so it should be here tomorrow. Oh, it's always something. Always something. So all those fittings I bought are 3/4.
And it's 1 inch.
It's a 1/2 inch.
Oh, it's 1/2 inch. I won't go through that. I'll guarantee it.
I'd have to put a vent there, like, to let the air.
Put a Schrader valve on the top of your tote and hook your air compressor to it. It might come out. I don't know.
Just pump pressure into it to push it out.
Well, that's a thing, that's perfectly reasonable. You can do that. Instead of using a pump.
Damn it. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so this is weird. Let me show you this and let you. What is it telling me here, Brad? You're the guy. You are the guy for this. So in the photo here, it's saying 1/2 inch right here, right?
Yeah.
But
which is standard.
I think this is 3/4. Because what was it?
No, it's 1/2 inch.
Ooh.
I saw it. It said 3/4.
Oh, you mean where it threads in there?
Yeah.
Those are the threads for the faucet itself. It just didn't go all the way through all the threads. What it looked like to me, I just saw it.
Show me that black piece again.
This one?
Yeah, show me the.
Had
some dimensions or something. Doesn't it show dimensions on that bottom right? No, go back to where it's 4. Go back to the second picture.
7/8.
Bottom right there.
0.78. 1/2 inch female thread. Some gun. So
you're kind of screwed. She should have asked me, man. Should have asked me.
So what I
because I would have advised you to I would have advised you to buy the advise you. I would have described what I bought, and that's that fitting, but it's a buttress thread, but it comes out to a male quick connect fitting, and then you can use a female quick connect on there and adapt to whatever you want to do, and then it's quick connect. It just comes right off.
So now I would have to reduce down my I would have to reduce down my 3/4 line to a 1/2 inch, right? To get it in there.
Which you could do. You can do almost anything, but
I mean, it's not a problem. It's whether will it work, right? That's what it boils down to. I mean,
it'll come out really slow.
Honestly,
it'll come out really slow. What's that sound?
I mean, you could always return it and order a new one.
What is that?
Something's going. Somebody's stomach.
Yeah.
Motorcycle or something.
I don't know. But
Well, can you get a? Well, this is for Philip, because I think it was Philip was asking me what attachment I was using on my mixer. I don't know if he had a better option for me.
How low will it spin in there, where it's not whipping it, where it's just kind of?
It's pretty slow. I don't know what the RPM's
It'll
on.
go pretty slow.
On setting one, so it's slow.
So you just turn that on, let it run 15 minutes or so, and then turn it back off again, and then come back in later and do it again, and do it again, and do it again.
I've been doing it 4 times a day. So I'm going to do it one more time tomorrow, then I'm going to bottle it, I think.
Hey, Blaine, what extractor did you buy?
You need a timer on your KitchenAid, Alex. Just set it up to just turn it on and program it, and it'll just go on for 15 minutes and shut off for 4 hours and on for 15 minutes.
Yeah. That's a good idea, actually.
You plug it on like in the outlet. So it cuts off the current, the electric current, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, low tech, you just have a timer that goes on for 15 minutes, and then every 4 hours you just go click, turn the timer on, and walk away.
But they do have digital ones as well, right?
Sure.
A little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
Probably a bit more expensive, but
kind of like a block heater timer or something.
Did you get a mixer, Alex? Another one?
Yeah, I went to get some sugar today at Costco. I needed 15 more bags, and I saw a KitchenAid mixer, and it was $5 less than Amazon, so may as well buy it.
Impulse buy.
It was less. That's
it was $5 less than the Amazon.
Is it the Artisan mixer?
Huh?
Is it the Artisan, the 5-quart?
5.6 quarts, I think, KitchenAid mixer. And I also returned the old one and asked for a refund. Packed it up, cleaned it up, packed it up, sent it back. There you go. So, but those things are, hey, at least the quality, from what Brad tells me, warrants the price.
It's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah.
They are heavy. You pick one of those up because you're used to like picking up a lightweight kitchen mixer, and then you.
I have this ultra cheap handheld mixer. That's what I had before. It weighs maybe a pound.
Nothing. Yeah.
Compared to that, and that thing is heavy as a brick.
You can do curls with a KitchenAid.
I think the one
you could.
I think the one I have is like a 7-quart or something. It's bigger than most, and it weighs a ton, but it's a beast.
You got the professional, probably.
I don't know if it's actually the professional, but it might be. It's the one that
Yeah,
has the
it's
little,
really sorry.
and I don't know that I prefer it, but it has the little crank on the side that lifts the bowl up and down.
Okay.
It's the top doesn't flip up. It's fixed, and then you lower the bowl to take it out.
Yeah. I've had mine for 10 years, and I bought it for making pizzas, right? So making my own pizza dough. So that pizza dough really puts them through the test, right? So in 10 years, it's it's not failed me. So now I'm mixing this, like creamed honey with it. So it's doing a good job for me. So it doesn't sound like there's any issues with it. Or I've always been concerned about if like a gear goes in it or something, how am I going to get that repaired? Where do you send it to? What's the shipping cost and all that? But I don't think I'm going to have any issues with it, at least in the near term. So I think you made a right choice, Alex.
Yeah.
Made a good choice.
I should have asked before buying the other one.
I told you. I told you to buy a KitchenAid.
I recall saying KitchenAid mixer too, and when I saw what you bought, I thought, oh, I hope that works for him.
Well,
so David Lewis is
putting
many messages that the KitchenAid goes too fast to cream honey, and I I can't say I've ever creamed honey in the KitchenAid, but I hope it works for you.
Well, it worked for Darren.
Mine actually isn't officially creamed yet. It's not set up yet, but it will be. I'll be on that process tomorrow, so I'll let you know how it goes.
Well, the like you said, there's different grades of KitchenAids. I mean, I don't know what the difference is, but there are different ones. So Blaine got the Hilco Megamax 32 frame extractor.
Woohoo!
So that's pretty good. It's like I think $2,400 or so for the extractor. Yeah,
30-ish frames is as far as I'm concerned the way to start if you're serious about beekeeping.
I like that they took the plastic ring out of that one, and it's got the where the basket is, the top, it's not plastic on that one, so that's
nice. Yeah.
But it's
yeah, I tend to agree, Alex. Mine's a 33, and boy, I wouldn't want anything smaller than that.
I had a 2 before that, tangential.
Yeah.
It was painful. It was painful to use.
Was it a hand crank, Alex? Because that
was electric. I still have it.
Charlie's always bugging me to buy my hand crank off me. I don't know if I'm going to sell it.
I couldn't bring myself to put it in the recycling bin. It's a horrible machine. It's slow and tangential. Oh God! Whoever invented that deserves to be slapped behind the head.
I don't want to show you this, Blaine, but I will show it to you. Just because I'm that guy. It was $400 cheaper, but by the time you pay the shipping, they're about the same. So the Lyson one. That's the one I got. That's the one you got too, Alex, right?
Yep.
So
wonderful machine.
Yeah, it's great. I like it. And and maybe it's just me. I just like the fact there's nothing on top, right? It's on the bottom and the controller's on the side. And I like that, so I can open it all the way up. I can open both sides, no problem. But it looks like a good machine. So I'll be curious to see what you say. Most people, I haven't heard anybody really say they're bad machines, the Hilco ones. So.
Yeah, he said, look, Flower Street Farm Bees says I could gut the old extractor.
And use it as a bottling tank. Yeah, just take the basket and all out. And then you got a gate on it, right? So you could just put you a drip valve. It wouldn't, obviously you wouldn't be able to warm in it, but you could definitely use it as a bottling tank. Wow, you guys are very
Well,
quiet.
I was answering somebody.
Y'all
who
gonna
asked-
make me have to go get some alcohol, man, to liven this party up.
I figured I figured if I sat here real quiet like Charlie did, my phone would ring and I'd have to go too. Just saying.
How much Canadian was that extractor? 3,400. Really? It was that much more than in the States?
Well, 3,400 Canadian is about remove 30%. Let's see how much.
Looking right now. 3,400 Canadian.
So
that's $2,500.
Yeah. Shipped, right? Or did you go pick it up?
I went to pick it up.
All right. So mine was around that shipped. But I bought mine. Mine was cheaper when I bought mine. I think it was like 18 something. Probably $100 cheaper when I bought it. But I like it. I like it.
Well, the price went up this year. It's over 200 more.
And someone told me they were going to buy my my other uncapping tank and my other uncapper, and it's been over a month and they haven't come and gotten it yet. So they're gonna have to pony up soon, or I'm gonna list it on. Well, I probably can't list it right now. I'd have to list it before next honey season, right? Because nobody is wanting to buy honey extraction stuff now, other than Blaine, obviously. You know, when it's the season's over.
Yeah, getting that old extractor might be a very good thing. I need to get a valve.
Hilco, well, I don't know if they ship to Canada or not, Hilco, but they got their one drip valve is pretty cheap, their brand of it.
Yeah, importing from the US is extremely expensive.
So
what's Carl saying? You could use it for large batches of cream. Is he talking about the extractor? What's Carl?
the
what
old extractor.
Really?
If you had, well, you'd have to have a creamer attachment on it, right?
Really?
Well, not really. Not if you're using a drill. I mean, if you were using a drill, you could put your seed in there, right?
Yeah.
And then use the drill in that thing to move the crystals up and down.
Huh.
So we ate before we started and ate before we left.
His 5th wedding anniversary. So he and his wife, they did winery tours, I guess. They went to 5 different wineries.
Nice.
And he was drinking all day.
With the drill, he says you could use the drill in the big tank. Well, the bigger tank of the extractor. The old
so I could even do that with my small my hand crank then if I wanted to, right? I mean, I never thought of that, but I could
take that out. Now it's a bottling tank, right?
There you go. There you go.
It's not heated, so if you let it sit in there and crystallize, you're screwed. But
how about a hand crank creamer?
Oh God!
Wow.
I know it would not be good.
Let's see.
For mixing pails to make cream with onion, like I'm still considering getting hammer drills. Even if I have the mixer can only do small batches.
Yeah, but
if I want to make large quantity of creamed honey, then mix in the flavor using the KitchenAid, it might be a good way to go.
Alex, I want to ask you. You keep saying hammer drill. How did you decide you need a hammer drill for that?
Somebody a few days ago showed me
mortar drill. I think
mortar. Yeah.
Brian said mortar drill.
Oh, mortar drill. Okay.
Low torque.
What this is it's a low speed.
Yeah.
It's a low speed drill for mixing. It's made for mixing. It's not made for drilling holes necessarily.
A mortar drill. Okay.
Hammer drill is not what you want.
No, hammer drill. I think hammer drills are those small ones that impact hammers, right?
It's made for drilling holes in concrete, so it's
Yeah.
some people might call it a masonry drill, but yeah, mortar drill is what he was saying.
Let's see what Amazon says about.
I think you want something pretty low RPM and variable speed, but it's got to have some power. So you're not going to do that with a 3/8 drill.
No, mixing a 5-gallon pail with a hand drill sounds like a bad idea.
Well, it's a lot of work. Brian proved.
You got to remember, you got to put the sweat equity in first.
Yeah,
and
right.
build your market,
right.
and then spend the money on the bigger stuff that makes it easier for you.
Well, there's this one that's like there's handles on either side. It points straight down with handles that you hold like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about $100. Is it variable speed? I'll look it up later.
And you said you had the corkscrew drill bit, right?
Yes, it looks like a corkscrew. Like like there's a large base,
Mm-hmm.
and it spirals around. Two times spiraling around.
So you're good to go. Just put it on that mortar drill, and away you go.
I'll link it in the chat. StreamYard. Wow, the URL is long, but that's the first one that came up.
Oh, you put it in the private chat?
Yeah.
Holy Moses.
Yeah, it's like 10.
Yeah, I said it's long.
I'll fix that for you here. Hold on. So everybody can see.
But that's Amazon
Oh my
Canada,
God.
just so everyone.
That's a mud mixer for like
Okay.
sheetrock mud, but that probably would do the same thing. I
That'd
don't
work.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I
got
bet it
to
would.
use the low speed, the lowest.
Oh yeah, it's Amazon.ca, right? So
Yeah, I live in Canada. Sorry.
Then if you decide to re-pour your cement sidewalk or something, you could always.
Yeah.
You're all ready to go. Make sure it's variable speed, Alex.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
you
haven't
need to run
ordered
it
it yet.
slow.
yeah, it won't even let me shorten the link on that like I could on the other one on the US sites.
Well, worst case, find the equivalent on your side of the border. Just paste the name in copy paste the name in Amazon
Let's try that.
whatever US.
That's weird. That URL is really weird.
Oh, there it is. Oh, that same one here. $53 US. And it's got a 5% coupon.
That's about $70, the equivalent of $70. So you see, it's $20 cheaper for you.
2910 Fresno State.
But you don't get to live in Canada.
All right. Let's see.
Let's see if it's variable speed.
Frank, do you do that on purpose? Because you make no sense half the time.
He doesn't.
Making posts. Why not just use a cement mixer? I don't know. Let's just get a drum and let it turn constantly.
Yeah, use a cement mixer. That's good food grade equipment right there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what you want your food coming out of.
Do they have Harbor Freight in Canada?
No. Closest thing we would have to Harbor Freight is something like Princess Auto.
Princess
Auto.
Princess Auto.
Never heard of that.
Pretty. You've never heard of Princess Auto? Wow. You're missing out, man.
I like Harbor Freight for certain things. If it's one of those kind of things that you're going to use occasionally, then Harbor Freight.
You only need a tool that's going to work once.
Yeah.
That's kind of Princess Auto. Now, I think they're probably a little better than that, but I think they're pretty close to the same thing. It's all import
I
stuff.
bought the straps for my IBC totes at Harbor Freight. On the way, I just talked to old Google on my truck and was like, Harbor Freight. And, oh, there's one 3 miles away. Great.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Princess Auto is it's not all offshore crap. There's certain stuff there that is really top quality stuff, and it's not super cheap because it's the real deal, right? Like Princess Auto, you want hydraulic hoses for your farm equipment? You go to Princess Auto; they'll make them up right there for you. All kinds of stuff, welding equipment. But it's very similar, probably.
I bought that inverter for my oxalic acid vaporizer. It was only $75 at Harbor Freight, but other places for the same thing for 700. I think it's 700 watts or 750 or something like that. They wanted like 150, $200, but Harbor Freight had the cheapest price. I bought that, and I mean, you only use it a few times a year, so so far it's it's been working out. But well, good stuff like that.
Charlie left, and our viewers are going down. So,
well, you're 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours in, so I'm probably going to cut the live stream and maybe go get the.
Can we talk about food now?
We can talk about food.
Cut the live stream and talk about food.
Yeah, that's it. And we appreciate all you guys. Thanks for stopping in. I guess Tim and Hannah is going to have,
as usual.
Going to have Brian on from Flower Street Farms over there tomorrow. So if you want to check them out,
should be a good one.
Brian's always a good guest and has lots of great information and knowledge on specialty honeys. And we'll see you guys again on the next stream. Good night.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.